Hey guys, and welcome to part 3 of how to draw Yato from Noragami. We left off in part 2 where I inked everything in and got all of our lines all solid and it's just squared away, all that simple stuff. But as you may have noticed, I missed a spot, but I erased all of our guidelines, so it's really just pen and ink now. But I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring him in, and I'll pause the video every now and then and I'll tell you guys my techniques on how I color and shade with Copic markers, and maybe I'll even use some oil pastel just for fun. But without further ado, I'll kick this into time-lapse. You guys can just sit back, relax, and just feel free to pause whenever to just catch up or just see how I did a certain thing and whatnot. And you're also more than welcome to skip around to any part of the video. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and kick this in time lapse and you guys can just watch and learn. Alright guys, well, I've got most of the torso and other small little details colored in with just the basic colors. No shading yet, but I'd like to just pause here for a second and like teach you guys an interesting little trick I learned when I'm shading hair that has like a very strange off color, I guess is the best way to put it. You see, the best example I can think of right now, I mean, other than Yato here, is Ruby from, well, the series Ruby. You know, spelled differently, but you know, whatever. But Ruby has like this very dark, almost blackish color hair. However, it tapers off to a reddish color on the ends a little bit. But it's like, how do I put it? It's like her hair is a dark black color, but it has a little bit of a hint of red, and it progressively comes out more and more as you progress further down to the ends of the hair. Now, Yato here, he has a similar case, but it's even all throughout. So he has very dark hair, so I'll be using a C8 here. I think it should serve our purposes. But I'll go ahead and do his hair here real quick. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do once I get all of this colored in. So I might just kick this part in time lapse and then talk to you guys on how I'm going to achieve that very unique tint of color in hair that you can see somewhat often in anime or manga characters. Alright, so we have our hair color, well, the base of our hair color all colored in. Now I'm going to show you what I was talking about. I'm going to take the only purple marker I have at the moment and go over this C8, and it should give us the right tone for our character here. Because Yato's hair, as I literally just noticed this morning, it's just got this very faint purple tint to it. So by doing this and adding a bunch of this over this dark color, it should give the hair a slightly dark purple tint to it, which is exactly what Yato has. If you don't believe me, just literally look them up. Just look up some of the character charts, and you'll see easily that it's, well, maybe not so easily, but it's got a very little bit of a purple tint to it. Honestly, I love characters that are like this though, because it just kind of gets you to be creative and how you're gonna achieve that look to the hair, because it's not, as I mentioned before, it's not super common, but when it does show up, I notice it because I'm like, man, it looks pretty good. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, there we go. We've got our slight purplish color all good to go. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it on the camera because it's relatively subtle. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just remembered. There's a series that I absolutely loved it when they messed around with the hair in, but I'm trying to think. Oh, it was like Twin Tails or something? I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was like Twin Tails, and like one of the characters, or maybe a few, they had just really cool hair because it transitioned from like a reddish color to a yellow orangey color. I don't know. I thought it looked really cool. Very good and very good character design, if I must say so myself. But yeah, same with Ruby. I really like her hair, how it's like tapers off to a really solid red. I just think that looks really cool. But for the most part, yeah, I like that kind of hair. Just adds a new like layer of challenge and whatnot to whatever you're working on. But there we go. Our hair is now not just a dark C8 color. It's a dark purplish C8 color, which is, well, exactly the color we need. Now I'm gonna go ahead and color in this money in Yato's hand. He's like, oh yeah, look at all this green paper. I can build all the little outposts and shrines I want. But yeah. Alright, so I just got a few more details to do here. Oh yeah, that's right. Another thing I was going to mention earlier was if you notice anything while I've been drawing, you will have seen that I use the brush tip a lot. And that's really only because the thing with this drawing or character, whatever, is that there's not a lot of like big open spaces that you can like, how do I put it? There's not a lot of big open spaces where you can just use the flat chisel tip, this end. So that's why I use the brush, because it can be very accurate. So that's why I use it for the most part, because I'm huge on being able to be accurate with my drawings. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and start working on this crown. I'm going to be using a lemon yellow, or a Y13, for those of you who are curious. I know this is a little bit bright for, a little bit of a bright yellow for a crown, but I think it'll serve our purposes, because I mean, this is a chibi. It's supposed to be not too detailed, but I mean, have detail but not too much. So this really bright yellow crown is just for fun. Nothing too crazy going on here, not like the absolute perfect essence of the gold color. Nah, I mean, why not throw on some bright yellow, make it look like a fairy tale kind of crown, I guess. No, not like the show. Like, I'm talking like European, whatever. Yeah, just I'll draw Natsu next with a bright yellow crown. You're like, yeah, I'm the king of fairy tale. I'm the pirate king. No, never mind. Yeah. Anyway, I'll probably go ahead and start putting down a base layer for these eyes here. I will say Yato's eyes are, well, very interesting, and to the fangirls they are captivating, I suppose. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just zoom in real quick for you guys so you can see a little bit better of what I'm doing. Alright, now that we're zoomed in here, I'm gonna go ahead and color in the eyes. I think I'm gonna use a B12, which is an ice blue, which is pretty close to what his eye color is. Or so I believe. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this in. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Just put this in as a base color, because I find it that it's easier, and if not best, to go in, put in all of your base colors first, and then when you have everything colored in with your base, go ahead and do all your little shading details and all the small stuff. And then you'll find that it really shapes up from there after you get all your base colors done. Let's see. The mouth. I'll go ahead and use a C1 for his teeth here. Might be a little hard to see. Yes, he does have teeth. But now I'm gonna go ahead and get my skin tone kit. I'll just go ahead and use one color for the whole mouth. I got a tongue here, but it should be fine. Using just one color. There we go. Alright. So there we have it. Most of our base colors have now been completed. I'm probably gonna go ahead and start shading. So I'll go ahead and shade all of that in. I'll probably zoom out because I'm probably going to be jumping from the head to the torso and back to the head again. But anyway, you guys, as I said before, pause whenever you need to see what I'm doing, because I will throw this in time lapse. But I will talk to you guys once I get some shading done, or if I see something that you guys should probably know about. Without further ado, I'll kick this into time lapse. Alright guys, we are almost done. I got most of the shading done, except for the crown. of course, but yeah. I'm probably gonna go ahead and do a few touch-ups here and there, but I'm gonna add in a few last little details I'm sure you guys will enjoy. As you may have seen on my guideline part of this video, in the first part, he had blushies. However, as you can tell now, he does not. Well, we are going to fix that with oil pastel, maybe a little bit of color pencil, though I have no idea where my color pencil is, but oil pastel, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just gonna shade in the crown just a little bit. Sorry for all the noise. The color I needed was on the bottom of the marker bin, of course. Just doing a little shading here, there. Just real simple. Just gonna add in a few dots, randomly spaced out, make it look like it's some kind of fancy design in the distance. Anyway, there we go. Crown's all done. I'll go ahead and pull out my oil pastels and use just my favorite color for doing blushes. But I need to get some tissue paper, so I will be back in just a moment. Okay guys, well, I got my colored pencil and my tissue paper that I need to do the blushes with. I'm just gonna do a quick little test here. Off to the side. I always like to test my watercolors, pastels, paints, whatever, before I ever commit them to a piece. That way, it doesn't end up looking not as I intended, basically. I'm gonna go ahead and add in those blushes with the colored pencil first, and then I will go in with the tissue paper and shade in the area around it. I'll just zoom in real quick for you guys. There we go. Sorry, I had to get that focus. Alright, so I'm just gonna draw lines all across his face. You can almost say he is drunk with power. At least that's how he looks right now. I'm gonna take my tissue paper with the oil pastel on it and carefully smudge it on. I'm not sure if you guys can remember, but I did the same thing in my first How to Draw series on how to draw Amelia. You can go check that out on my channel. And you'll see I use the same exact tactic. I just put it on a piece of tissue paper and then I smear it on to the face and wherever it's needed. Just going back over with pencil because it kinda smudged the pencil a little bit. I'm just trying to get that right balance. Okay, well, I think, oh, there goes my paintbrush. Alright, there we go. I have now gotten the blushes in. I'm gonna go ahead and just put the highlights in real quick, and that should be everything. Yeah. Alright. I'll put in a highlight here just because I can. I think it makes him look a little bit a little bit more lively. Alright, there we go. Well, I'll go ahead and put this brush down, and I will sign this piece. I really appreciate you guys watching this long videos. I really do appreciate it. I know my tutorials can run pretty long. There you go. But I really appreciate your support. If you liked what you saw here and you thought my tutorial was helpful, go ahead and hit that like button right down below somewhere. And if it wasn't so great, my art is trash, or it was really, or my tutorial just wasn't good, hard to follow, you know what to do. Hit that dislike button, but make sure you leave feedback on how I can improve it. But if you want to see more of this, be sure to subscribe so you can get a constant feed of, well, what I'm up to. And anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.